Hey, it's Mike Aguilera here, and I just wanted to give you guys a little insight, those of you that are coming out on March 18th for the full day Business Breakthrough Day with me. Don't worry about bringing a notebook or anything. I got notebooks, I got folders, I got worksheets for you. What I wanted to do was maybe set a little pre-thinking for you. One of the things we'll go through is we'll talk about like what were the patterns, the cycles, the behaviors, the habits that happened last year. And what are you already noticing here in the first quarter? And we'll look at it through a traditional gap analysis of where you're at and where you want to go and what is the things you got to do, but also what's the resistance that keeps showing up if it's either hiring people or implementing technology or something. Now, I went through yesterday and I make sure every one of these business breakthrough days are completely different. If you're somehow came across this and you do not know about it and you want to know, well, let me know. There might be a couple spots left. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about the economy. We're going to talk about the cycles and some of the pressures because winners are preparing and, to be upfront, losers are reacting. Now, when we look at these things, we're going to talk about like what is the advantages, the upsides, the opportunities. What's the disadvantages for people? And then how do we prepare for all those things? So we're going to look at the conflict. We're going to look at energy going up, gas prices going up, inflation, different rates on different areas from, mortgages to home equity lines. We'll look at the housing market as a whole, and we'll look at some of the debt stress out there and even the unemployment rates and stuff that's happening there. Now, there are some, significant indicators right now that we can capitalize on. But if you're not building things to communicate to your customers. Now, the cool thing about this room is I don't know if we'll have all 120 plus industries that we're in, but you're going to be in a room with a lot of different industries, which the superpower there is you're going to hear something from one industry and you're going to be able to apply it. Now, on your journey to the 18th, whatever time you're watching this, I'd grab a notepad or keep a piece of paper on you or type some notes on your phone, because not only am I going to cover these things, I'm also going to cover any questions that you bring. Now, there's three different types of cycles that we'll have to touch on, right? There's the human life cycle. Where are you? At what age? At what stage of your personal life, your family's life, your children's life? We got to look at the business life cycle. Are you like a baby business? Have you been in business a long time, but you never grew it to the next level, meaning you might not have hit the maturity level where it runs by itself and it has strategic managers in place. And we'll look at the life cycle for your life, like what is your net worth and how do we put the three pieces together? So we'll definitely go through that. Now, what's going to make this business breakthrough just a slightly little different, but way better is a lot of people that are attending, a lot of my clients, they're bringing managers and team. Why? Because the owner wants the team to hear the information so we could create clarity, alignment, and accountability. So I am going to teach a whole section on marketing. We're going to talk about lead generation, the do's and don'ts. We'll talk about how do you use authority marketing, education-based marketing. How do you do database mining, looking through your database of customers and find opportunities there. And we'll talk about different types of referral flywheels, how many referral mechanisms you could put in place. Now, I'm going to apply that so owner could put it into the business structure and also a manager can take it, or I don't care if it's an expert in the field, someone that does plumbing or they do any service. We then will go into sales and we'll talk about the structure of a sales cycle, a sales process, how you could have people buy and love to buy without, trickery or anything like that. And also how to examine where they're breaking into the sales cycle. So we'll talk a little bit about the before, the during, after, the pre-launch and post-launch of things so that if you have membership programs and things that you're offering, they don't die off. I will talk about how do you create such a strong framework without having to put scripts in place so that it just eliminates all objections and then customers are just happy to say yes. I'll share my strategy of momentum buying, how every it doesn't matter if somebody's calling in or you're calling out or someone's responding by text message or some kind of chat bot or chat function on your website. I'll talk how you could stack each one of those for 4 different opportunities to create a sense of momentum purchasing. So I will go into that, and then I'll hit operations. A couple notes I made for operations. I'll tell you how to do process mapping so that, because a lot of people are using like AI and ChatGPT to build processes, and they're building things for things that aren't even broken. That's a waste of time and energy. Or you're using an AI function, you're building the most beautiful process in the world, but what the hell if you don't even know how humans work and how to integrate it and implement it? Well, it falls apart, and that's why some people have really brilliant wisdom in really crappy companies. I'll talk to you about my productivity system. So all of these things I'll be going through are things we put in our own business. They're running right now. Or if I'm working with a new company, we look on how to put them in, okay? Now, I don't know if I could tackle all 20 profit maximizers, but I will cover a bunch so we could understand pricing, because every time I work with a new business owner, or I do an on-site or something, they're always like, am I charging what I need? Which is a little, confusing for me, because I'm like, well, how'd you even get the number in the first place? You don't just pull it out of your ass there. So we'll talk about pricing. We'll talk about, forecasting. How do you forecast your numbers based off of last year's and also what we're seeing this first quarter here. And we'll talk about like how do you even apply if you need to use strategic discounting or coupons or financing. We'll tackle a little bit about scaling strategies, about scaling the company, customer lifetime value, different leadership layers and how to get that in place, how to build, hiring funnels that work without you, that don't feel like daunting. And we'll talk about how, if you do choose to either exit, hand it down to family, or do an ESOP or something. We'll touch base on that. I will review the 5 numbers and how to do the numbers. So we will talk about cost per lead and lifetime value and conversion rates and average transaction. And we'll talk about what do each one of those say. So, hey, it's going to be a big day. I'm going to answer all those things. I got you covered. Lunch and everything will be all handled. And you'll bring me questions. And by the end of the day, I want you to leave with a good 5 to 10 things that are quick, easy, implementable. And I'll even show you how to get that done while you sleep, so you have a 24-hour organization without you killing yourself. All right, so hey, if you just listened to this whole video and you're not scheduled for March 18th, just DM me or my team or reach out. We'll see if we have a spot. Those of you that are coming, get ready. It's going to be one hell of a day. Boom.